Hi everyone, good afternoon. By the way, this is Kimberly Mangkubat and I will explain to you the introduction of caught in between modern and contemporary art. But before that, let me introduce to you our objectives. By the end of our lesson, you should be able to first, differentiate modern and contemporary art. Second, show the interrelation of modern and contemporary art. Third, isolate and discuss significant historical events that inform and inspired the different movement under contemporary art. And the last one, classify specific artworks into the different movements under contemporary art. Now, let's start. One of the most difficult subjects to define is the history of art. Significant concept, canons and tradition, preferences and domination of styles, media and manner of production as revealed in earlier chapters were the defining elements that segmented art history into distinct periods and movements, identifiable but not necessarily precise. It's worth noting that art's periods and movements are proof of how art and culture are intertwined in daily life. Art is not divorced from, rather, it is embedded in the affairs of the society in which it exists, as it scrutinizes and critiques in context. This lesson seeks to provide a glimpse of modern art and how it was interpreted, defined, and represented not just inside and limits of the world, but also beyond it. The term contemporary seems simple and straightforward enough to define. There is this assumption that it need not be asked, rather, that it must already be understood. But with an attempt to do so, one's find it is a lot harder to grasp. The complexity of defining the terms is attributed to the fact that people have dissenting views on the interpretation of present, of today, or what the now means. These are often ideas that follow the word contemporary. Even more so is when it is hinged on the word art, suddenly it becomes a bit unclear. There are museums, for example, the feature and the names of artists, art styles, or artwork in their names, but appear to advocate pieces from a previous period. For example, the mandate of the Institute of Modern Work in London, which was formed in 1947, includes the promotion of art that came to be from that year onwards. Clearly, the timeline is distorted if contemporary art began decades later. For the new museum, contemporaneity was defined on a 10-year fluctuating basis and placed within the Museum of Contemporary Art's boundaries. Another source of confusion is the fact that in the colloquial, modern and contemporary are considered synonymous. This, however, is not the case when these terms are used in the context of art. Therein, they refer to two different but consecutive periods, quality by different approaches art making and function that art serve. To better make sense of contemporary art, perhaps it is the best to dial back to its predecessors, modern art.